Hello everyone, my name is SFM, and welcome to a SFM tutorial. This is for beginners who want to start SFM and want to learn animation and whatnot. And you came to the right place. So today, we're going to learn about the basics, how it works in Source Filmmaker, post characters a bit and whatnot, yeah. And, you're going to learn how you can make animation, playing around with camera settings, texturing characters, whatnot, yeah. Basically that stuff. If you want to get Source Filmmaker, it's actually at the Steam store. As you can see, I already pulled it up. So you can just type in Source Filmmaker up in the thing where it says search the store. Type Source Filmmaker, and it's totally free. So you could go ahead and get it. It will say free right over here. Download that. Boop. Done. You also need like a good graphics card and whatnot in order to get SFM to like fully work. So once you open the app and whatnot, once you download the app and whatnot, open it up, then you will see this little window that will pop up here. It has like session name and whatnot, frame rate. So here's a little tip. If you want to start animation and you want to get like a good quality render, you go right here where my cursor is, you go to frame rate, go to 24, and then they got all these numbers you want for your quality of your animation. Go for 60 all the way from the bottom, because that's a good quality animation you need, so that your animations are like smoother and not like, you know. So what's that? There's a little tip for you. Here you got your directory where you can select your files for your sessions. I wouldn't worry about that much because I'm not too worried about it, but it's up to you if you want to relocate your files so that you can find your sessions easily. Totally up to you. And then you want to go to your name right here. So you can pick any session name you want. So like, for example, SFAS testing Source Filmmaker, whatnot. Source Filmmaker. If there's any background noisy here, I apologize. Just be mindful of that. So once you got your session name done, click create, and then you're in. Alright, so I'm going to show you how the tools work and whatnot. Show you, talk about the tools a bit. Alright, so here you go, here is get your timeline. You got these types of tools you can use. So your shots you can use. Here's a dialogue, music effects, upload your music and whatnot. And then you got down here the effects where you can add your own effects in SFM. And right here you got your play button, you got the record thing, you got these things where you can use for your animations, posters and whatnot. Camera settings, and you can also do that. You can also use the console, but that does not open when you start SFM. You could just, however you like, you could customize your SFM a bit to look at like this, for instance. That's what I use. Basically, I use this for like, you know, how it looks in like where camera is or whatnot, however you call it, and then I got my like work camera and whatnot. So you got that, and so you got these guys right here. You got your timeline, where you got you can select shots, cut them, edit, all that stuff. You got your motion editor right here, which I'm not too worried about. Do not, now this is for animation too, but do not use that for your animation because it will suck. It will look bad. So totally up to you. If you think it's easier, that's perfectly okay. But I'm doing this to tell you so that it makes it easier for your SFM. But you can basically use this sometimes if necessary. And then you got your, like, what's this called? Okay, if I forget a couple things, that's perfectly okay. I've been doing SFM for about 2 years, so I kind of forget a couple things, which is perfectly okay. So you got right here where you can start animation, pose, and whatnot. We'll get through that in a bit. You also got your settings right here to help you make your movements better and whatnot. You got these guys, and, yeah. Up here, you got your, like, list right here where you load the models, and it will show up here, lights, particles, whatnot, and then you got these guys. You also got your element viewer, which is on next to the animation set editor, where you can, like, make textures of your character, use this for your camera settings and whatnot. Then you guys, right here, you got your file where you can export your animation or poster. You can post models into the workshop. Downloadable content, I don't know what that is. Oh, you can also install other packs, which don't worry about that because I don't think you need that stuff. Perforce, I don't know what that is. I don't use much of this stuff, but you can also open up a new project. You can open a project, save it. You can just close SFM. You also got your edits right here, and you got your window where they got like a console stuff where you can select them, and then it will be placed on your SFM, so you can customize it, whatnot. And then right here, you got your primary viewport where you can see the animation and whatnot, and then you got your secondary viewport for like your work camera and whatnot. That's a little easier and whatnot. Okay, so now we got through that stuff. Let's get to how to load the map. So basically what you got here is you got no map loaded. You know how it's blank and whatnot. So basically what you gotta do is you gotta right click and then you have this little window that will open up. So you got your enabled lighting, progressive refinement, which we'll talk about these two in a bit. You want to go down here that will say load map, and then you got all these types of maps you want to download. You can also download other things in a workshop, which I'll show you quite a bit. It's very simple. So you can name what map you want, but just make sure you name the right thing that has it in here for SFM. So let's say like big stage, for instance, to use it for like your animation test or whatnot. So you double click that, and then it will load up that say loading map. So some of these maps take quite a bit to load. So you gotta be patient for that. So let's just wait for it to load, shall we? Oh yeah. Another thing you need to realize, it's still in beta, yes. If you start SFM and stuff, you'll experience like your SFM crash a lot right now. Yeah, you'll experience your SFM crashing a lot and whatnot, which you do have to get used to. Yes, it's a fucking pain. Like, I understand, but just get used to it. So you got that stuff. Don't worry about that will say not responding. That mostly happens a lot to most people, so don't worry about that. It will still load the map. So yeah, see, it still loads the map. Alright, so it appears that will be almost done. Alright, so now we're loading the map. Alright, so I'm gonna show you a few controls, how to move your camera or not. So you hold your left mouse, you can look around and whatnot. See, scroll is to zoom in, zoom out. Use your your scroll wheel. And then you got WASD, W is to move forward, S to move back, A to move left, A to move left, D to the right, and then Z will go up, X will go down, and then yeah, takes a little bit to get used to, which is quite simple. So as you can see here, we are in a big stage. So you'll take a look around a bit. We got some lights and whatnot. Perfect for SFM testing and whatnot. And you got your little orange circle right here to place your model here. All right, so I'm gonna show you how to load a model to SFM, to the workshop to SFM, and how to load them to this map. So basically, what you gotta do is you gotta go to your Steam, go to Community, and it'll show up a tab. Go to Workshop. And then you go to your search bar right here, type in Source Filmmaker, will show up here, click that, and then, and then it will load up your SFM. So you can pick however model you want, you can search what model name you want. So let's just say, this guy right here, William Afton from Freddy Fazbear's Pizzeria Simulator. This looks like a cool model. You can also read the description on what it looks like. For like high poly models and whatnot. You can re-export if you want. Releases allow. You don't need to ask me. Really support. No tracing. Support photography. Finish it. So you can read the description a bit, and it will show up that will say like scrap it, and it will make sure that will say MDL, that stands for model. And so this is basically simple. You basically just subscribe to a model, and it will do its thing. Go back to here, and then you find this window that will say right here, SFM Workshop Download Queue. And then you just click OK, and then you let model sing. And it will sometimes pull up a window saying, are you sure? Yeah. Just click yes to all, but it'll open a window, so maybe next time I'll show you what I'm talking about. So after that loaded, and if you want to find your model that you just download easily, you just copy that, or highlight, copy, paste it. Okay, so now I'm going to show you how to load a model in SFM. So basically what you gotta do is you gotta click this little plus sign right here to the animation editor. Then you got your little list. You can spot a camera, lights, particles, existing elements. So you want to go to this middle right here where it says create animation set for new model. Click that, and it will show up a list of models. So you can search up what model you want, and it will show up. So I'm gonna copy and paste the model I want to use, and here it is right here. The scrap trap model, aka Woomafton. So you can take a look at it in a bit. Use the right mouse to zoom in a bit, left mouse to search thing, and then look at this guy right here. He's a pretty cool guy, isn't he? Yeah, he looks like an accurate model to use. Yep, pretty cool. And so you got your wireframe, which oh no, my SFM crashed. You see what you have to go through? You have to experience some SFM crash. So we're going to try to get back to SFM. Whoopie-doo. So yes, you will experience SFM crashes a lot, but we're probably going to use a different mode because I think that's high poly. I'm not too sure. But I'm just going to take a look at it later. Yeah, so yeah, it will mostly piss people off or thing. It'll show up here, I'll say load, I'll save, that was it. But it doesn't quite save all your stuff sometimes, which that's the bad part. But yeah. Oh yeah, so sometimes if you accidentally delete SFM, you have like all sorts of models and you download again, you'll get this little list that will load up all your models again. Don't try to do it if you don't want to take a long time to do it. Just click cancel and it'll open up another window. Click cancel. And then we gotta wait for this. Okay, so now we'll load it up again. So now, I'm just gonna click this little arrow right here. Change scene camera, new camera, so that I can use this for like posing and whatnot. Okay, so we're just gonna load up a different model and whatnot. So basically, I'm gonna choose example, Princess Ashley. So I'm just gonna search up princess, and it will show up a model just like this. So we double click that. And then, there it is, the model. So you double click that, and then the model will load up right here. So, sometimes if the model is too small and whatnot, perfectly okay. What you gotta do, it's basically simple. Basically, you hold control, and it'll show up all the bones, so you could use these for, like, you pose a character, and animation. So I'm gonna click the pelvis right here. And then it will do its thing. So you got your thing right here. You can select the body. We also got your unknown for other things. If you can't find the bone from here, you can always search there and find what bone you want. So I'm just going to click the pelvis right here. So how you want to make the model bigger is you got to click this, right click, add scale, control to transform. Then it will show up pelvis scale. Click that. Then right here where my cursor is, you hold that, and then it will size your model. Pretty simple stuff. So I'm just going to size it just like this. And I'm going to put it to the circle right here, and I'm going to show you how to move the model and whatnot. So, about right here. Okay. I'm going to do this real quick so that my SFM does not lag, because this tends to lag my SFM. So if you, here's the thing, since while I'm doing this, if you want to make like a shot of something, you choose how long your shot wants to be, and a little easy thing is, if you want to right click, operations, play clips, do that, or just press B Once you select this shot, press B, and then you do that, and then you got your blade shots, and then you just click this one right here, and then you got your shot. Okay, so now, how you want your model to move. So, you hold central, and then you select what type of bone you want to move. So you click that, and then you just let go central, and it will have this. So the arrow is where you just do that. You hold your left mouse so that you can drag them out. And then if you want to redo the thing, Control Z, and then it will get back to here. You have to do it a couple times, sometimes, or most of the time. And then you got your global, so you can move this up and down, left to right, and then you can also select this little area too. That's what I use a lot for my posters and animations, so that's a little easier. And you also got this, which will also move them all, and then the square too, which will do the same thing like the arrow. I don't quite use this much, but if you want to do it, which is easier for you, go ahead. So, and then you basically do the same to the arm and whatnot. So I want to pose a character, for instance. So what I basically do is I'm going to move this jaw back because for me it looks off, and yeah, because look at that, it looks off, and in my opinion, I don't like that, so I'm just going to move this back with the arrow, and then I click global, and then I just do that, and then it will just look like that, and then I'll just get into the pose, just like this. So I do it fast, so if you want to rewind my video a bit and, take notes too if you want. You also want to take notes so that it's easier. That's what I did. So I'm basically gonna, oh yeah, and here's a little tip, and here's a little trick for you right here. If you want to select all your bones, like all the fingers, what you gotta do, hold central, click out of the hand or something, move your cursor here, left click, hold it, and then just draw it, and it will show up like this little white mark. It'll do that. So basically you do that, and then you just circle around the bones, and it will quite select all the bones. Sometimes it won't, which you gotta do it a couple times like I'm doing. So if it's highlighted blue, as you can see, that means the bone is selected. So you just release control and mouse, and then it will show this, and then look at that. It will move all the bones for you. Sometimes, for most models, if you select all the fingers, sometimes it will go like, basically it will just do that. Yeah. Sometimes you have to move one finger at a time, or just, draw the thing, one finger, you know what I mean. So basically I'm just going to make her, hold the mic right here. And then I also do the same thing. I draw it, hold control, draw it, make sure they're highlighted blue, all of it. Then you just move that. And then move the arm up a bit. Then I move the arm down. Move the lower arm, upper arm. And then I do the finger thing again. And then, yeah, so sometimes we'll do like this, which you'll need to fix that. Which is only one finger here, which that is perfectly okay. That is perfectly okay. So basically do that. And then if you want to make it look better, you can just spread the fingers so it looks a little accurate. That's what I do for most posters and animations. So I do that. Do the same thing. Make sure it's highlighted blue. Do that. You can also select a bone here. Move the wing. Move the wings, whatnot. And then I'll just do an eye, which will do the same, and then select an eyelid. And you also got to make sure it will say eyelid if you want to move the eyelid, or if you can't find it. And there you go. Here's a little pose for Ashley, just holding a mic and looking like she's happy and whatnot. Very nice stuff. So that is the SFM tutorial today. That is the basics on how you can get started with SFM for beginners. In the next SFM tutorial, I will show you how to animate, pose animation, and play around with the camera settings a bit. So thank you guys so much for watching my video. Hope this will help you out. You can rewatch it and whatnot. Take notes of it if you want. Perfectly okay. So yeah. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next video. Peace out, homies.